All right, let's talk about some Detroit Lions football. So apparently, Detroit Lions have signed more free agents than they did in Brad Holmes' inaugural year. So let's talk about that. Also, it's rumored that the Lions are done. Okay, so Mike Payton from A to Z. I like A to Z Sports. I've referenced their articles quite a few times. The Lions have signed 11 free agents so far. That's the most since 2021 when they signed 13. It's also the very first time they had double digit signings since 2021. So first thing I know, none of the signings was good. Were I think he meant were good signings. Shout out to Puritan Jew. He said, "Why do you feel that way? Let's talk about it." My thing is this. Um, I guess he wanted to get the engagement. We could pull up the free agent signing list for let's see. I think we can go to Sports Track and pull it up. I mean, I like the center. I think there was concerns about. Um, I think there were some concerns about the center. The center's not being able to run block, but I think he'll put him between Tay Riley and Mahogany. I think he'll be all right. But that is a concern, him not being able to pass to run block. You know, yeah, that's a concern. I'm gonna say that from the standpoint of because Raiola, he was the reason why the Lions run game was so trash for years. So, this is the list they signed. We're not gonna count. I already counted for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we not counting resign. So we only counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they had 12. So they have 12 because if you look at it, I think I don't know when this tweet was posted. This tweet was posted March 20th, so a day ago. So I think this is before they officially signed, the Peyton guy, Peyton Turner, which so we can go through the list because he asked a rhetorical question, which he knew the answer to the question. So K Mays was a good signing. Larry Broom, I know nothing about. We not counting the re-sign of Mark Roxanne. I like it though. DJ Wanham, major injury. I'd like them bring back Rodrigo. We're not talking about that. I like the safety that they picked up. Christian Aziz, good safety / corner. It's a good Brian Branch insurance. Pacheco didn't really care for it. Damone Clark didn't really care for it. Roger McCurry, I like the signing. Basically you replace Meek Robertson, or Greg Dortch. I love the sign. I'm a huge Greg Dortch fan, by the way. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 11. My bad, because I counted Trevor Novowski. I love Greg Dortch. He can do some things at receiver in the slot. Tyler Conklin, I like to pick up there. Teddy Bridgewater, I like to pick up there. Payne Turner, I mean, he missed a bunch of games. The chances of him coming here staying healthy is 0 to none. So if I had to say, the signings that I like the Bridgewater signing, but also they probably need the quarterback in the future. I like the Greg Dortch, the Roger McCurry signing. Um, I like the Christian signing. I like K. So I like 5 of the 11 signings. Respectfully, um, you know, yeah, I don't know too much, but yeah, it was they didn't have the names. The big names that was involved in here, but you know, names ain't everything if they feel like these are great fits. But I think a lot of people are I think a lot of people just like, okay, the window's closed. I had one person in the comment section say Brad Holmes is trying to get, Dan Campbell fired on purpose. I think, I had him trying, he trying to get Dan fired on purpose. And I'm like, hey, you might have a point. You might have a point. Because, at this point, when you kind of look at this list again, um, you know, from what I know, Damone Clark had a major injury. DJ Wanham had a major injury. I think McCrary had a major injury throughout his career. Obviously we ain't gonna count Bridgewater, but we know he did. Peyton Turner, I mean, it's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard, bro. Uh, but I felt after the Washington game, I felt that season, even though I think it was impossible for the win with that many injuries. I felt it was a wrap then. Last year I just wasn't feeling the Lions last year. It felt off, and I just think just my I got a Jones in my bones that window closed, man, and he ain't doing nothing to try to. I mean, you just look at Philly, and Philly just constantly keep their window open. They constantly keep their window open to Philly, whether it's adding Saquon, whether it's adding this guy, having great drafts. I mean, we just, and then, I just, it is what it is, man. You just get tired. You get tired, man. You feel like you that close with Brad and Dan, and then you look at this, you like, okay, they missed the last train to Paris, and that's what it feel like. They missed the last train to Paris. But so then you had Justin Rogers reportedly say that um, the heavy lifting, of Reds is likely done for the. I'm like, where did they start lifting heavy at? I mean, none of these guys was heavy lifting other than Cade Mays. And to put it in retro, to put it in perspective, he wasn't the number one center. It didn't have to be. But yeah, he wasn't the number one center. He wasn't the number one guy. He wasn't. So that was the only major signing that they had. That was the only major signing that they had. That was it. Even though I like some of the signings they had, there was nobody other than the center to write home. And the reason the center was so great is because that just meant that that just meant Frank Ragnar wasn't coming back, and it also meant that Tate Ratledge wasn't going to play center. So, but yeah, I mean, I think the window's closed. I think the next great thing to happen is Jared Goff get injured. I think that's the next thing, the next step that's gonna happen. So I mean, they're gonna get them. They just re-signed these guys not too long ago. So I mean, we'll see. I just think they might just be tread water just to stay above water long enough. But the last two drafts ain't been good. So we'll see what happens. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Peace.